Hello there, I'm Claire, you're watching Stitch Him, so thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Now today's video is a Friday Sew style video brought to you on Saturday, and I just thought I'd come to you with a bit of a post-Christmas catch-up. So we're in that sort of period between Christmas and New Year. Don't know about you, but I'm definitely in that period of don't know what day it is, and just having some fun time with the family, just chilling, playing games, that sort of thing. It's been a nice few days. I hope everybody has had a lovely Christmas. If you celebrate, I know Christmas can be a bit of a tricky time of year for some people, so I hope you've been out to sort of spend some time relaxing, etc., if Christmas is a bit of a tricky time for you. Anyway, I thought what I would do is have a bit of a catch up. I would talk through those last Christmas makes that I have got made and gifted, and a couple of things that have arrived in the post a bit before Christmas. Now, thank you so much to everybody that has watched any previous videos, particularly in my sort of lead up to Christmas. I was doing sort of a Sunday Sews Christmas makes sort of part 1, 2 and 3, and I got to 3 and there should have been a part 4, but unfortunately there was a week where I didn't feel very well, so I lost quite a lot of time in terms of sewing because of that, and then I just had to really focus my attention on getting as much sewing done as possible. So unfortunately that video didn't materialise, but I can definitely sort of talk through those makes with you now, and then it will be looking forward to what's the future's got to hold in terms of January, etc. So let's crack on with some of the things that I got made. So most of the things that I have made I don't have with me anymore because I have already gifted them, because obviously Christmas has happened, but I've got some photos and things to share with you, so hopefully that's okay. So one of the makes that I did make and I have got with me is this book sleeve. So I gave this to my husband. I was gifting him a book and I thought, actually that's perfect, I can make him a book sleeve. Now I did this extremely simply. I used one piece of fabric, I folded it again to make the sleeve. If you are after a tutorial on how to make a book sleeve, there are lots out there on YouTube, but there is a fabulous one that Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne did, so do check that one out as well. I've made this in a very similar way to Tamlin's video, a few little tweaks just because I didn't need to cut the fabric in quite the same way, but the principle of how it's made is exactly the same as that, so do check that out if you want to see how to make one of these. I think it's just great. It makes a gift that you're giving of a book a little bit more personal, and I picked some fabric for my husband that I'd previously made a shirt out for him, so I knew that he was going to love this fabric, and what a great way to use up some scraps as well. So yeah, really like this one. It came together so quickly. It's got a little bit of fusible fleece in there just to give it a bit of extra padding, and yeah, I must have sewn this up in about 10 minutes from cutting it out to sewing. Perfect. Now, in terms of gifts that I have already given away, so I have given that to my husband, but we live together, so you know I've got that one. But I made a bag for my sister and a bag for my mum, and a couple of bits for my dad that you haven't seen as well. There have been lots of other things that I've made, but I've shown those on previous videos. So the bag that I made for my mum was a lunar crossbody bag, which is a pattern by the lovely Adam from Adam Sews. I made it in some gorgeous poppy fabric. My mum really likes poppies, my grandma really loved poppies, and so it's a flower that kind of reminds us of her, and yeah, I made this gorgeous bag for her. I'll pop some pictures in here or here for you to take a look at. And I also made a little purse to go with it. Now my mum is not, she prefers quite a small bag, and the crossbody bag fits that quite well. And she also likes a small purse. She prefers a smaller bag. You can fit less in it, so you're less likely to overstuff, and therefore it causes her less problems with her neck, etc. I too am quite similar in that way. The bigger the bag, the more like you are to overfill it. So yeah, she really likes that. So the bag that the purse that I made is called the Mini Blossom Wallet. And this is a pattern that I found from Etsy. I'm going to pop an image in of the purse that I made as well. Again, I've made it in the poppy fabric, but obviously you can, as the image shows here, make it in sort of contrasting fabrics to really kind of show the features, etc. So on one side, it's got a zip at the top and a zip in the front. And then on the other side, it's got some areas for you to put cards, etc. Let me see if I can show an image. I've definitely got a picture of that actually that's probably going to show that better. But basically you fold the fabric to create the card area. So it's got a couple of slots, 2 or 3 slots for putting cards in. Now, as I say, I picked this pattern up on Etsy for a very inexpensive amount of money, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it actually. And I actually made 2 of those wallets, one for my mum and one in a different fabric for a friend of mine, but unfortunately I don't have a picture of that, but using the same pattern. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that, and I think I might make one for myself at some point too. I didn't bother putting this little loopy bit on, D-ring, or making the little chain, but obviously you can do if you want to. But I didn't think that was particularly necessary for my mum's needs. And yeah, she was really pleased with the bag. Obviously it will need to be a bit more of a bag that you only wear in good weather because it's not waterproof, but she was really chuffed with that bag. The other thing that I made for my mum in that gorgeous poppy fabric, because I had enough to play with, because I think I bought a meter of that fabric. I've still got some left actually, so she may in the future get the odd other poppy related item. But the other thing that I made was a little bowl cozy. She loves to have some porridge in the morning, and yeah, I just thought that would be perfect. I haven't done it so that you can put the whole cozy in the microwave because I haven't made it with cotton thread and pure cotton wadding. I actually use some Insel Bright wadding on the inside so that it's really kind of heat resistant, so really good and protect her hands. And yeah, I just thought that would be a really useful item, seeing as how she generally has sort of a bowl of porridge every day. So I just thought that would be really useful. Now for my dad, I had grand plans to make him a shirt for Christmas, but because of being ill for the week, I had to kind of scale back those plans for him, and it's right there in my mind ready for March because that's when his birthday is. So yeah, definitely got that in my mind to make for him for then. So I did make him a couple of items. I made him some pot holder things that I think I've shown you in a previous video, but I'll just pop an image in here. And I also made him a little tote bag made out of like waterproof, water resistant fabric. Now my mum and dad like to go, they've got a camper van and they like to go off here, there and everywhere, and he had a canvas bag that he used to take when he's going for a shower, when he's not using the shower in the camper van but in the shower block, and he'd had it for years. He'd got it free, it was falling apart. My mum had said to me, do you think you could make him another one that would dry quickly, etc. So I had this fabric. It's not particularly the most manly of fabric, but given the state of the one that he had before, it was definitely an improvement. So yes, I made him this little tote bag. It's got sort of quite small handles, really small, really basic and very easy to sew up, but hopefully will be quite a useful item and will stand him well for the next however many years that he gets to use that for. And then I made him one more thing, along with obviously buying him some other bits and bobs, but I made him one of these expandable shoe bags, shoe storage bags. Now I obviously you don't have to use them for shoes, but I think that it's a really useful item that you could use at any point. But obviously you could put shoes in, you could use it when packing generally, really useful. The lovely Marissa from the Umbrian Sewist made me one about a year or so ago, and I've made one since for my husband and one obviously now for my dad. It comes in 3 different sizes. I made the large, and I'd say that if you're looking to put an adult pair of shoes in there, you need the large size. But it'd be great for if you've got kids, etc., and you're just wanting something that's quite easy for them to open and see what's inside, but also keeps everything contained, toys and things. That would be really useful. It expands on the sides here because it's got, you use kind of French seams to create it, and you've got a bit that's kind of tucked in at the side, so then the side kind of expands, so that's why it's called an expandable bag. So yeah, those are the items that I made for my dad. And for my sister, I made a Bestie bag. Now I had been that's what I had planned to make for my sister, and I'd been waiting on and on for some fabric to arrive from Rainbow Fabrics. It took ages to arrive, at least 2 weeks if not more, and I have to say I was getting a little bit twitchy and a bit annoyed. I mean, I know that Rainbow Fabrics always take longer to post out, but yeah, it annoyed me, if I'm honest with you. And then the fabric that I had ordered, so I'd ordered several fabrics, and I'll show you some of them in a minute, but the fabric that I ordered specifically to make the bag didn't come with the order, because I then got an email after it had been posted out to say that they couldn't fulfill that part of the order. Now I know that that is something that happens. I get that it can be difficult to gauge your stock, etc., but it was the piece of fabric that I had ordered particularly for this project, and then the other items that I'd ordered were kind of additionals, if you like. So that was a bit annoying. So I had to go back to the drawing board on what I was going to make her. And then I thought, oh no, I have got some fabric that would be ideal for a Bestie bag. It's a blue kind of camo-y type fabric, but in a kind of pigmented type way. And I once made well, last year at some point, no, this year, haven't moved on to 2025 yet. Anyway, in past months I'd made a dress out of it, and I had some remnants left, and so there was more than enough to make the Bestie bag. So I made it up in that fabric. I'll pop an image in here. I'm actually really pleased how it came out. I made the strap itself in the fabric because I didn't have any webbing that I thought went particularly well. I think because of it not being because of it having a slight pattern to it, I ideally would have wanted quite a plain strapping, and I didn't have what I felt would go well. So I decided to make the strap out of the fabric itself, but I did have like a slider to go with it, so I didn't need to do the knot version, which equally I think would have looked nice as well. But I think as it was, it's turned out really well. I used a bluey kind of fabric for the inside. The changes slight tweaks that I've made to the pattern is when I do the zip tabs at the end, I make sure that there is a zip tab on both sides of the zip, because I don't like the fact that there was like a raw edge on the inside, even though you can't really see it if you'd have to really turn the bag inside out to really notice. But for me, I wanted to change that. One of the pockets wasn't lined, so I did that double rather than the larger pocket. The pattern piece is just one piece of fabric, so you're either seeing the back of the fabric, or if you've interfaced it, you're seeing interfacing. And I didn't really like that on the version that I'd made before, so I did that as a double pocket, if you like, double piece of fabric, so that the inside of the pocket is the same lovely lining fabric. And the other thing that I do is to add a piece of folded fabric, and with a little clip on the end to use for your keys, because it's the sort of bag that things could kind of get lost in the bottom quite a lot. So I think that's really useful. It means that, if you're just opening your door, you don't even need to unhook it from the bag, you can just unlock it from there. So for me, I think it's a good little added extra, and it's something that I will do on future Bestie bags, because there will be more. I really like the pattern, and I'm definitely looking to make another one for myself. So those are the things that I made as gifts. So I probably finished my gift making and my wrapping by the 22nd of January. No, January? Oh my goodness. See, I told you I didn't know what day I was on. I'm in December, and I felt like a huge sense of relief, I have to say, because I'm often sewing or wrapping right up until Christmas Eve. So I felt quite chuffed with myself, if I'm honest with you. And then I thought to myself, what am I going to do? I don't want to do anything big, but I still feel like just having a little bit of a play. I felt like my creative juices were still there, if you like. And so I just decided to make a few little things just for what the hell, really. So I made this little gonk. This was in a little kit that I'd bought early January, late November, early January. And it was like one of those Trimmets kits, and I decided to get that one sewn up. That only took me a little while. Really cute. Instructions were fairly good. It all comes together quite nicely, quite easily. The holes are already pre-punched for you. The only thing you have to kind of sew without a huge amount of guidance, although obviously it shows you what to do on the picture, is these little stars. Totally easy, great little project if you have got a child that has done perhaps a little bit of sewing before. Yeah, I thought it came together really quickly, really easy, and just so cute. I mean, everybody loves a gonk, don't they? So that's been on my Christmas tree. I then was having a little play with some scraps and sewed up this little sort of patchwork cushionly Christmas decoration. It's not the best, if I'm honest with you, but sometimes you just want to have a play. But what I did use, which I really like, is two little buttons from my advent calendar from Jazz and Well, which is what Beck Sews shop on Etsy. Yeah, I really loved that calendar, by the way. I don't know whether any of you caught my kind of daily sort of updates on Instagram, where I was showing what we'd got every day. Oh, it was just gorgeous. I've never had a sewing related advent calendar before, and I just loved it. I loved opening a little gift to myself every year, so I'm definitely going to be getting a sewing related advent calendar next year. I got the one that was purely buttons because I don't do earrings, but I have to say I had some serious FOMO moments when I saw what some of the others were opening. There were earrings, but it wasn't like every day was earrings. So next year I think I might well be tempted with the other calendar, because even the days that I get earrings, I can just gift those to other people. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. I guess in my mind I just thought that they would, I don't know why, would be all earrings, which is ridiculous. Of course it wasn't. That wasn't what Becky had shown at all on her listing. Anyway, but it was a fantastic calendar. I really loved it. So much effort had gone into them. I mean, Becky is just one person by herself, and she'd made so much stuff. Just incredible, on top of a full-time job, being a mum, running a house, blah 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 blah, that she does. Incredible. Becky, hats off. So yeah, that was another thing that I made. And then I found some bias binding that I'd bought earlier on in the Christmas period when I was doing a Pound Fabrics order, and it was this gorgeous festive bias binding. and I'd completely forgotten that I'd ordered it. I stashed it in my caddy and forgotten all about it. So what I decided to do was I had some white toweling left from when I'd made some face wipes last year, and I just made a little small hand towel for use in the kitchen over the Christmas period. It's still lovely and white because it hasn't really been used much as yet. I'm sure it won't look this pristine soon enough, but yeah, that was just another little project. Again, didn't take me very long, but just allowed me just to be a little bit creative before Christmas, but without having to worry about fit or anything. Now, I would have really loved to have made myself a new Christmas dress, but by the time I was done with Christmas sewing for others, I just did not have the head capacity to be doing anything where I needed to worry about fit or anything like that, even to attempt a pattern that I have sewn several times before. My brain was not there to be able to do it. I didn't want to add any level of stress, so unfortunately a Christmas dress did not happen. But never mind, another time. Now, as I said, I did do a little rainbows fabric order right at the end of November, something like the 27th of November, which unfortunately took a while to come, but let's not go over that ground. So I'd ordered some black canvas that didn't arrive, but I also ordered this waterproof fabric. Now, I swear that it was black on the order, but I think it's more of a very dark navy, which I'm not worried about, because actually I really like the colour. I like navy, and so that's not a problem to me. So my idea behind this is to make a Bestie bag, because I use mine loads, but my concern is always on those wet days, well, stuff is going to get wet. So I'm going to sew up a Bestie bag for myself in this waterproof fabric, and therefore, I mean, I know that the zip etc won't be waterproof, but on the whole most of the bag will be waterproof, and so less concerning. And I also picked up some other fabrics. I picked up one more, but I must have used it for something and now I can't remember. Oh, I used it for my dad's bag that I made the shoe bag with. There is some left over, but again I'll put that image in so you can see. So it's like a blue fabric. I picked up this one because it's sort of a marbled effect of tealy green colours, you know, it's my colour. And this gorgeous one as well, which is sort of greens and blues and purples. Really pretty. And I might use that one on the inside of this, or I've got one other fabric that I bought previously that I might use. Haven't quite decided on the lining fabric yet, and I need to decide what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to do the strap as in the fabric or whether I'm going to use webbing, etc. I'm not sure yet, and I need to decide whether I should use a black zip or a navy zip, because this fabric is so dark. I think I'm going to go navy, because actually if I hold that up to there, which is my monitor, which is obviously black, I don't know how well that's showing on screen, but in the flesh it definitely looks more navy than it does black. So I think I'm going to go navy, which is great because I've already got navy continuous zips, so that will work perfectly for that. So I think that's probably what I'm going to sew next, because I'm not quite there on making any clothing items as yet. I definitely will be looking to decide what I'd like to make in January, but I think I will do that as a separate video, because right now I don't know what that looks like. But I definitely want to get some sewing in for myself now, to be honest with you, after a good month, if not more, of sewing for other people. Yeah, it's time for some selfish sewing, quite frankly, and I'm looking forward to that. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that's watched today's video. I really do appreciate everybody that joins me and watches me. I've had a lovely flurry of new subscribers over the month of December, so just a massive hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to everybody that's been watching my videos for a long period of time. I really do appreciate everybody that watches, for all your likes. Those help my channel a lot, so thank you so much for commenting. I love having the chats, and I always try to reply as soon as possible to people when they comment on my channel. So just, yeah, thank you. Now, I'm not sure whether there'll be a video out before the new year now, because as I say, I don't know what day it is. I think we're on the 28th. But if I don't see you before the new year, I hope you have a lovely new year if you are kind of celebrating, or if, like me, you value your sleep more and probably will be in bed when midnight strikes. But yeah, I hope you have a really happy and, more importantly, healthy 2025, and I will see you really, really soon in the next video. Take care. Happy sewing. Bye bye.